And within Screening 2, you can export this to Excel or Word, or add it to the binder report here.
Okay, could I ask you a question? Let's say we wanted to find information on a kind of a sector like clean tech. Clean tech companies, and if we wanted to know how many clean tech companies there were in Canada or the United States or whatever, and information about them, how would we do that?
So the best way to search for a more a criteria like clean tech, instead of going through industry classifications, we also have the ability to look at their business description and pull out a keyword search based on their business description. So that's what I would do, is I would just search for clean tech like that, or clean technology, for example. Is that the same thing? I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we can add that. And then you said you wanted to look at like if they were in Canada. So we can add that criteria as well. And that'll just be another workaround instead of adding the industry classification.
Could you click on the view results, please?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, and it looks like, so sometimes this will pull out like investment companies that are investing in clean tech. So what you can do is you could go back to the screen builder and you could exclude if it was an investment company or financial company. That would be an option or a workaround there. So if you wanted to like add financials and exclude those results.
Okay.
That would be a way to kind of get more of what you're looking for, and just get the companies themselves that were actually clean technology companies. And then we can see here their industry classification.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, thank you. Now, as related to this, is there anything that, any type of measure or any analysis that the financial platform offers on ESG, environmental social governance, with the companies?
So what we'll have on Capital IQ is in regards to ESG is we'll have ESG indexes. So like this S&P TSX 60 ESG index. But unfortunately, we won't have a lot of more in-depth information. You can get some reports on like ESG, but this will be your main like information on different like companies that would be within these indexes. And you can do a keyword search for ESG within business descriptions. And I would have to check to see what report access you have, but we could look at reports.
Yeah, we
as well.
We have reports to I think most of the S&P reports, and then some small brokerage firms like the ones you're showing.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, so I have to check on that and talk to Barrett. But the other thing you can do is if you wanted to look at like a keyword for ESG, that would be another way to see some of those research reports. So
okay,
it'll just show you like a quick report here. But other than that, we don't have like kind of a way to, we don't have ESG ratings or anything like that on the platform, but those would be the two ways to see ESG.
Okay, so let's see. Where would it be, under symbol or name? Like I'm in investment research.
I would do a keyword as ESG. That would just find reports where they talked about ESG. If you wanted to get more granular, you could do like an advanced search, or if you wanted to just look at like industry overview or just reports themselves, this will just give you any ESG report. Just because we don't have the ability to kind of pull more information on ESG within CapIQ than just
Okay, okay.
Okay, so I've kind of gone over most of the platform here. I wanted to check with you guys if you had any other platform questions before we get into the Excel plugin.
Let me think here. I noticed that in your left-hand column, you had things like CompuStat financials, and I don't have that in my left-hand column. So, what's the? Could you describe that?
Yeah, so any of the things that you see that I have, you'll probably see you don't have Ratings Direct or Credit Analytics or the CompuStat information. Those are just additional add-ons on top of CapIQ. So with your license, you most likely just have the access to the CIQ financials. Yeah. Again, I'd have to check with your account manager on everything that's included, but my guess is that it's just not included in that base package, but we can reconvene after this as well.
Okay. Yeah, okay, thanks.
So with the Excel plugin, you can download it based on, if you go to My CapIQ and go to downloads, there's going to be a section here to download the plugin. You will need a PC or a PC environment to run the plugin. We can't run it on a Mac, but a lot of students can have been able to dual boot that and then run it on top of their Mac. So once you've installed it, you'll see this S&P Capital IQ tab. So I just built out a shell of some things I wanted to pull here within the Excel plugin. So the Excel plugin is a financial modeling tool to pull in any of that CapIQ data we saw on the platform directly into Excel using formulas. So I'll go over different ways to present it, different templates, and how to update them. The first section that is probably the most useful feature within the Excel plugin is if you right-click, you can go into our formula builder, which allows you to build any formulas that will update dynamically based on your inputs. So here you can reference an identifier or a cell. I'll go ahead and click on that cell where I have the ticker. And you can go through any of these tabs to get general information such as company name, and I'll add the formula, any market data information, and all of this is hard-coded based on either if you select a date within the formula or within a cell. And you'll also have the ability to search for a keyword if you don't know where it is within these tabs. And then all of our financials here, you can choose like a relative period or an absolute period. So relative period would be, let's say, the last fiscal year, or absolute, I could choose that it's always going to be fiscal year 2017. I'll add that formula. And then once you hit OK, you'll see that the information is going to update based on that ticker that I'm pulling. I didn't lock this cell here, but it should just update. As you can see, it's updating based on the ticker that it's referencing. So GE, IBM, and the revenue, just like on the platform, you have the ability to audit the data back into the filing as well. So on top of building any formulas yourself or going through the formula builder, we'll also have over 100 pre-built templates by our modeling team. So you guys can also submit models or shells to our modeling team to build out for you. Students can't, but professors can submit. If you had like a certain shell of information you wanted our modeling team to input, they can. But I'll show you one of our templates that we have that's pretty popular. So if I go into equity comparables, I just exported this detailed comps section here. Mm-hmm. And this is similar to what we had on the platform in the quick comparables section. So it's taking out the input company that I have in here in blue and pulling out the financial information based on those comps or those pre-built comparables. Mm-hmm. And you can see it changes over the trading, multiples, operating statistics. And this is all updated based on these blue inputs. So if I wanted to change it to Zoom, it's going to take a second to load. But when I go through the platform, we can see now it's all updated to Zoom. So that's what I mean by dynamic, is that it's not just exporting the page directly off of either the report builder or the page itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
And then we'll also have the ability to, this is the one-page tear sheet. So if you go into this template, it's just going to be under, let's see, company tear sheets, which is the one-page tear sheet profile. All of the green is going to be CIQ formulas here they're outputting, and then blue again is the inputs. So the other thing that you have the ability to do within the Excel plugin is to copy and paste this information into a PowerPoint, so to build a report that way. So if I have this price graph and I go into this S&P Capital IQ tab here, I can actually copy it with the link. And both of these have to be saved, but I have this saved PowerPoint presentation. Just give me a second here. Once I have it copied, you can actually paste it just within, and I'll try to copy it again because it looks like it didn't work. Paste it right into your PowerPoint presentation. Sorry, give me one more moment here. And that's another way to just build a report. So let me see. And I can follow up with directions here. Usually, okay, here we go. Usually it just allows you to paste it with the link, and then it can update it. Technical difficulties. Okay, here we go. Perfect. Okay, so as you can see here, it's pulling directly from the Excel document for IBM's price. If I go back into the Excel document and change this to Zoom, it will update the plugin dynamically as well as this chart. And then when I go back into this PowerPoint, if I go to update links, for some reason it's not loading, but this should just update the slide based on Zoom. So that's another thing that students can do. There we go.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Yep.
So that would be another thing, you know, they can build it out in Excel, that you can pull pretty much everything in Excel, and then they can update it dynamically.
Yeah, okay, that's great.
Did you guys have any other questions on the Excel plugin?
Yeah, I'm just assuming that they would be able to break the links as well, right? So then that way if they didn't want it to update, right?
Yeah, so break the links as in like hard code the values?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can unlink anything. You can unlink the worksheet or the selection on PowerPoint or Excel. But once you unlink, you can't relink, so I would make sure that it's saved as a different, but yes, they can unlink it and then send it in. That's another thing that they can do here.
Okay, great, thanks.
You know,